Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so all the products that I use you can purchase from Stampin' Up! Through me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's also linked below. This is my host code for July. If you purchase anything under $150, please put this in. I will put them all together and redeem Stampin' Rewards, and I will send everybody a little something. Celebration is going on now. You get a free products for every $50 you spend. So that goes down to the end of August if you're interested in that. Okay, so my project today is a Halloween treat box that is 4.5 by 2.5 by 1. And it opens like this. And inside I have 2 Kit Kats and a small, they're all fun size, and a pack of M&Ms. There's still probably about an inch on the top that you could put more things if you have small things. So it's a fairly decent sized little treat box. I used Best Witches stamp set, which is a cling, along with all that dies and the Stylish Shapes dies. If you notice, I use a lot of the same dies a lot. So if you have them, I use them on several projects till they retire if they're my favorites. Okay, so what we need for this project is some basic white for stamping, and you can use a scrap because anything that's bigger than this circle right here, you can stamp it on that and we can stamp it off and cut it out, I mean. All right, we need a piece of gorgeous Grape cardstock that is 7.5 by 6.5. This is Celebrate Everything Host the Designer Series paper. It's the thinner paper. And we need 2 pieces. One that is 2.25 by 3 3/4, and one that is 2.25 by 3/4. Now, I only did this top flap and the front. You could do the sides and the back too if you want to, but I didn't do those. All right. And then we need a scrap of pumpkin pie for the sentiment. We need this label from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it is the larger, this larger label over here. And from the All That dies, we need this, right, which is this one right here. And we are also going to cut out the stamped image with this die from All That dies. All right. And we're going to cut out the sentiment with the smaller one of these. So let me get my Simply Scored. Okay, and we're going to start on the 7.5 inch side. And we're going to score at 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. And we're going to turn it to the 6.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 5, and 5 3/4. All right, now I'm just going to fold and burnish. Okay, so I have the skinniest rectangle on the right hand side. There is a 1 inch strip on the bottom and 2 3/4 inch strips at the top. Now, this is what we're going to do, except I decided not to round the corners on the flat. Okay. All right, so let's start on the bottom left. Remember, the skinniest rectangle is on the right. We're going to go to the first score line and cut it straight to the first score line and wedge each side of that square. Go to the next score line, up to the first score line, next one up to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge each side of the square. Okay, then we're going to go to the next score line, cut it straight to the first, and then we're going to wedge up into the piece above it. Okay, now we're going to turn it 180 degrees. Oops. And our skinny rectangle is on the left hand side. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to the first score line and cut it straight to the second score line. And then we're going to wedge up into that skinny rectangle above it. Okay. All right, so this is our top of the box here. So we're going to go to the other side, cut it straight to the second score line. Next score line, cut it straight to the second score line. We're going to get rid of this bottom rectangle. And then we're going to wedge each side of this rectangle because we're going to use this as our top flaps. Okay. We're going to go to the next score line and we're going to cut it to the second score line. We're going to get rid of this rectangle that's on the bottom here. So just cut that right off. Let me fix that. Okay. All right. And then we also, sorry, this way. We also don't need this rectangle, so we're going to take that one off. And then we're going to wedge the sides of this rectangle. Okay. And that is what your cardstock should look like after you've done scoring it and cutting it. All right, now we need some tear and tape. And I'm going to put it on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. I'm going to use the pointy end of my Take Your Pick tool and get the backing off. Okay, flip the whole thing over, flip over the side with the tape, and flip the side to meet it, the other side to meet it. Okay, so now this is our back, okay, this part here. So we're going to put the sides in and the back, and this is where we want the rest of our tear and tape. Put one close to the score line, and you can add another one inside if you want to. Take the backings. I went off, so I'm just going to roll that tape back on. And then just try to make sure your edges are straight. And pull your tape down. Okay. Now these are going to go in, and then this piece in the front stands up and it catches the other side. Okay, so what we'll do right now is I'm going to use some adhesive Velcro dots that are 3/8 inch. Now you could always tie a ribbon through this part here and tie a bow up there if you want, but I'm going to put a Velcro dot. One on this part and then the other one on top of it with the adhesive facing out. And then you're just going to set it into this score line in the middle here. It'll just sit there. And then push the other part of that roof top down. And then just open it up. And there's your closure. And it's very easy to see to open it up. All right, now we just need our pieces of DSP. And this is the Celebrate Everything Host DSP, which means if you buy more than $150 worth of product, you can put your Stampin' Rewards towards this paper. It is a big pack of 48 sheets. So if you want to join with a friend or two to get your total up to $150, you can split it, especially if you cut it down to 6x6 sheets. You have a lot. All right, I'm just going to put my piece of DSP that goes on the front. And this one is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And the piece that is 2 1/4 by 3/4 on that top. And as I said before, you could put some on the sides and the back if you want to. All right. Now, let's do some stamping. Okay, so we need, I'm going to put a little piece of scrap paper. Let me see if this is big enough. No, okay. So we'll use over here. And we want to make sure that we can use this die. This die cuts it about 2 inches. So I use about a 2-inch circle if you don't have these dies. All right, and then I'm going to use this image from the Best Witches stamp set and some Tuxedo Black ink. And you only want the head and the top of the body, so you don't have to ink up the whole thing. But make sure you get enough up there so that we can cut it. Okay. Then I'm just going to place it on top. Now you're going to not get the whole hat, but that's okay. What I really want is the face mostly in there, okay? And then I went to my machine and I already cut out one, so then this is how I cut it. Just the 3 tips of the hat are missing and the bottom of the body, but that's fine. Okay. Also, we want to stamp our sentiment, Best Witches, in the middle of your scrap, because I'm going to use this die from Stylish Shapes dies, and we don't have to get the whole tag. We have to leave about a 1/2 inch on the end of the sentiment. Okay, so the important part is that the best is at the beginning. Okay, so we want to cut it out just like that, because we're going to be cutting off part of this anyway. Okay. And I already did that. I actually cut out the whole thing, but we're going to be cutting that down later. All right, now we need some Stampin' Blends. Okay, we're going to start with Light Flirty Flamingo. Yep. And I'm just going to put some nice cheeks on. And then I'm going to take Light Petal Pink, and I'm going to color in the face and the hands, and that will blend out those cheeks. This one I got a little bit lower than this. This one has the hand over here. That's okay. It's not exact science. I'm just going to blend the cheeks a little more. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to use light basic black for the top parts of the hat. And light smoky slate for the inside of the hat. We're going to use dark Daffodil Delight for the buckle. And dark Pumpkin Pie for the hat band and the dress. All right, and then also light basic black for the cape. Okay, and lights dark, so saffron for the hair. All right, and then I'm going to get light soft suede for the broomstick handle, which I didn't have in the last one. I did it a little bit lower. All right, and that's how I colored it. Okay, now we're going to take our label from Pumpkin Pie along with our, it's kind of an embossed square, from Gorgeous Grape. This is Stylish Shapes dies. This is all that dies, and the shape of that we cut the image out is also all that dies. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to put, I only put dimensionals on this back piece, but I think I'm going to put dimensionals on all of them. So I'm going to put 2 on the square, and I'm just going to try to center it right on there. The advantage of glue is that you can move it. And then I'm going to put my image on top of the rectangle. And I'm just going to center that. That was good. Okay. Now we're going to get our box. I'm going to put in my goodies so I have something to lean on. Okay. I also could fit a Twix right down the side if you put the Kit Kats together. Okay, and we need glittered organdy ribbon and black and white gingham ribbon together. And I'm going to wrap it around the box. And we want the bow on the left-hand side. Okay, and then I'm just going to clip the ends. Alrighty. And we're just going to put dimensional right in the middle on either side of the ribbon. So this bow does not have to come off. They can just open and close without having to tie and retie. And I'm just going to put this on nicely. Try to get it as even as I can. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. It's popped up a lot more than this one. And I like that. Okay. Now for our final top touch, I'm going to use some of the Glossy Dots Assortment. I'm going to use the gorgeous Grape ones. And I'm going to put a medium one right there, a small one on the other side of the hat, and then the large one, right there on that purple. Okay, and that's it. I did the final touch before I put on my sentiment, so I'm just going to cut off so that there's about 1/4 inch at the end, and I'm going to poke a hole here, and of course I have to untie my ribbon again that I struggled to get tied, and I'm going to put it on the right side, and I just put it on the gingham ribbon. And I'm just going to tie a bow again. Okay. And then I just give a little curl to the sentiment so that we can see it. And that's it. If you have any questions, my email is below. Also, the link to join my team as a hobby demonstrator, or just for the offer, you get a $50 planner and a stamp set that goes with the planner as the bonus for joining this time at Celebration. And the 20% off discount for you and your friends, or if you wanted to just do it as a hobby, or you could do it as a business. And all of the details, measurements, and all that are on my blog, which is linked below also. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.